Hello, my swan friends. For this reading, you are being represented by the swan. And of course, these 6 cards will tell you whether or not this really is your reading. The swan, of course, is a waterfowl, so it is a creature of both the water and the air, which is very interesting. Water is emotion, or associated with emotion in general, and of course air is associated with the intellect, the mental faculties. But this is what the Animal Spirit Oracle has to say about the swan. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. It also sounds a bit like flow. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, lacking vision. To bring into balance, solo time, writing. And for those of you who are less inclined to write, but perhaps more inclined to doodle or express yourself through some other means, you don't have to write. It may be useful, though. There is a book, what is it called? I keep forgetting. The Artist's Way, I think it's called. Anyway, it's about journaling through art, not through words. And if that's what works for you, then I suggest that you do that. Don't let yourself be limited in how you express yourself. Do what's right for you. Okay, now, is this reading for you? We have the casket. A situation or person is leaving your life. Hopefully, of course, not in a casket, but that's what we have. Apple, temptation will test you. And the finger came out pointing at the apple like this. It literally fell out like that, in that position right there. Next to it, we have the fly, a period of ill health, depression. So this may not be physical illness, it may be mental. But even although this looks like a difficult time for you, these 4 cards, you are on the road to success and happiness as your last 2 cards. I don't know where you are in this journey to success and happiness. I hope that this is also health, since we have this card here. But that's what we have. So, why are you here? Why are you here? Watching this reading. Oops. 2 cards escaped right off the bat. And of course went under something else. The first one, interestingly enough, is rabbits. New beginning. A period of fertility. Sudden increase. Resourceful. Multiply. Of course, sex and procreation, but it doesn't have to be. These cards are being extra slippery today. I don't know what's going on. Why are you here? You want to make a new beginning, and part of that new beginning is getting rid of the old. That's sensible. It's sensible and understandable, makes perfect sense. And it says unavoidable here, so perhaps it is unavoidable. You can't make this new beginning without getting rid of a lot of stuff. Purging a makeover. Oops, I'm shaking everything. Sorry about that. Are you making over yourself? Why are you here? Catalyst. Ignite. You are perhaps looking for some inspiration. Definitely a catalyst, so something to help you in your process. You are planning this change. Wow, you're planning a lot more than change. You're planning catalytic heart awakening. Wow. Okay. But no matter how quickly you want it to happen, you are not in control of the timing. I know, I'm sorry. It's hard to be patient with this kind of thing sometimes. You want it to happen when you want it to happen, and sometimes it just takes time. We see incremental here, but also unstoppable. This is happening. You may have wanted it. You may have wanted it very, very badly. Yeah, divine intervention. It's happening. It will happen when it's time. What about your programming? Perhaps you're being reprogrammed. Leap of faith. Sudden change in direction. I think you're having some impatience problems. Yeah, and you're feeling really stuck. Yeah. So on the one hand, you're really wanting to make this progress. And on the other hand, you're feeling really stuck. And what is this mask about? There's a lack of clarity, confusion, standoff. Something is not what it seems, or you fear it is. There's something that you feel like you're not seeing clearly. There's something hidden from you. And again, destiny, spirituality, divine guidance, trials. And then we have self-expression. Be bold, be heard, speak your mind, communicate. So we have the bear. I always see this one as ambition. Again, we have, well, this is interesting. I can definitely see gears. We have at least two different things having to work together, having to learn to work together, perhaps. So teamwork, interconnected, timing. You have to have more than one thing lining up in order for gears to work. And that illumination that you want so badly may depend on, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the breakthrough will come when everything lines up. And the things that need to line up are your heart and your mind. You need compassionate wisdom. You need heart-mind coherence. You need emotional intelligence. You need to balance your mind and your emotions so that you can be whole and authentic and integrated. It's definitely integration. So you want to be integrated, which is a wonderful thing. But there is also, you had divine timing, you had perfect timing, you had references to destiny, spirituality, divine guidance. In other words, you're not in complete control of the situation, and that's probably driving you nuts. Very understandably. Okay. So let's see what archetypes are active in your life right now that maybe you can learn to work with. Well, they hopped out pretty quickly. We have the gem, the threshold, and the medallion. So 56, 45, and 59. We'll start with 56. This is the gem. The diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. Oh, the inner treasure. Oh, we're back in alchemy land again. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that it is found deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, a diamond in the rough. The gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You can't find it when you are among comforts and pleasantries. Precious stones develop slowly deep in the earth amid pressure and darkness. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface, where there is no definitive map. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we cannot help but seek out its radiance. Your gem, like your destiny, is unlike any other in the entire world. Keep digging. This sounds very Eight of Pentacles to me. A lot of grind phase. All right. When light, unique, shining, generative, irreplaceable. When dark, envy, greed, and grasping. The moments of your life that glimmer are clues to where the gem resides. Don't covet the sparkling diamond of another. The gem is like a fingerprint, never to be repeated again. Find yours. In mythology, the diamond is often linked to the daemon, or inner light, that leads us toward our true self, our purpose, our destiny. And you have the threshold next to it, so you may be on this you may be on the brink of discovering something about yourself that will surprise you. Okay, now the threshold. 45. The door, the gate, the initiation. We cross thresholds continuously, consciously and unconsciously. Doorways, gates, and entryways grace our path on a daily basis. When this card arises, it signifies that the precipice you stand upon is not your typical one. You have arrived at a threshold of initiation, here to usher you into a new reality. It requires you to leave behind the you that you thought was so well formed. A new frontier calls. This is not easy work. Threshold initiation means a part of you will be lost in order to make space for what is next. A metamorphical death must occur. Some may not recognize you. You may struggle to recognize yourself. The ground seems to crumble as you free fall into your new reality. This is the liminal realm. One step, dear friend. Just take that one necessary step toward the future that calls you. When light, growth, individuation, ease in the liminal. But you are neither here nor there. When dark, resisting, refusal to grow, barriers, boundaries, not healthy boundaries. Okay. In Hindu mythology, Ganesh is the ultimate gatherer? No, gatekeeper, sorry. The print is very tiny in this book. Ganesh is the ultimate gatekeeper. Look to the great elephant for support. Hecate, Janus, and Mention are also watching over you. Crossing a threshold may not always be voluntary. Sometimes we are thrown across the boundary through circumstances far beyond our control. Either way, we cannot go back. And that may have happened to you. You had the coffin, so you may very well have been thrown across the boundary rather than walking across it yourself. All right, next one, 59, the medallion. Here we go. The amulet, the talisman, the heirloom. The passing on of sacred objects is an ancient ritual within families, between lovers, and in tribes across the globe. We gift jewels, treasures, keepsakes, and mementos of all kinds. Some of great material value, others that hold emotional resonance, and still others with both. Yet when those gifts are bestowed upon us, it is important to recognize that they may bind us to an unspoken agreement or promise. When the medallion card appears, be aware of how the objects you hold dear may be embedded with unconscious energy or expectations. Materials hold consciousness, and it's time to reconcile the vibration of the objects around you. What do you covet and collect? Why? Is there an object you've held on to for years that you are ready to release? Perhaps it is time to reach for the medallion that aligns with your deepest values. When light, uplifting tradition, protecting, harmonizing, honoring. When dark, burdensome inheritance, habituation. Imagine if you and your family, school, or social group had a crest, emblem, or amulet. What would it be? It says draw it. Only if you feel like it. Do you believe that objects contain supernatural properties? When have you experienced this to be true? All right. I think there's a lot going on with you. And I think you have some ideas to let go of. Perhaps actual physical objects to make room for new ones. And perhaps you should simply clean your house. Or purge your house. In any case, you do have a lot going on. Oh, how did that happen? I hope it wasn't like that the whole time. In any case, I am wishing you all the very best in your journey. It looks like it's been very challenging for you. And this is a stage that we all have to go through. And keep going.